I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof.
Order.
If I'm going down,
Order
I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court.
Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So, all right. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Errol Spence Jr., he posts on his Instagram, last running back, Shawn Porter. He on board for it as well. He talking about Spence Porter 2. Hey, man, I'm feeling this rematch. It was a great first fight. It's basically the definition of an instant classic. And I'm ready for these two warriors to get back in there and go at it again. Erase all doubts from either side. At this point, it was such an excellent fight. All the bias I had going into this fight, I was definitely pro Errol Spence 100% of the way. But man, it's just the type of fighter spirit that these guys are showing even after the fact. You know, hats goes off to them. And the thing that really changed my perspective when it comes to the Shawn Porter side is the moment Kenny, because I already know Shawn gonna do what his daddy tell him to do. So the moment Kenny said they'll fight Bud, I knew it was official. And I knew it was something like, okay, like I already knew that Shawn had a bunch of heart, he got a lot of dog in him, but I was really turned off by the comments that were made prior to the Errol Spence fight that they didn't want to fight Bud. But the moment Kenny said that shit, I'm like, all right, they serious. You know, that's all I needed to hear. I'm going in this next fight. Hey, may the best man win, and I'm ready to be entertained. But with that being said, if these two young lions, these two monsters at the welterweight division, if they're going to run it back, hey, stack the undercard, man. I want to see Ugas on this undercard. Like I said, I still feel that Ugas deserves his rematch with Shawn Porter. But if Errol Spence and Porter are going to run it back, well, Ugas and Josecito Lopez, they should be on that undercard. Now, another thing is Terrence Bud Crawford, Bo Mack, Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter put out to the world that they want to fight Bud if they couldn't get the Spence fight. And I've been hearing a lot of chatter, a whole lot of chatter, saying that Team Crawford, basically, they're still saying that they don't want that Porter fight. It's not a good look, man. Like, I've been riding with Bud hard. I like Terrence Crawford. You know, I defend him. I understand his personality. But this is the one thing I don't understand. With 154 pounds being my favorite division, I'm used to seeing, like, a lot of these guys, these brothers fight each other. And they putting on entertaining fights. And if you got Terrence Crawford sitting over there on ESPN, when you have a guy on PBC, even though it was Kenny, we already know the dynamic between Shawn and Kenny. Kenny said he'll fight Bud, even if it was a bluff. Bud needed to respond and say that he wanted to smoke. I didn't hear any of that from Bud. I didn't hear any of that from Bo Mack. So that's put me in a position where it seemed like it seemed like Terrence Crawford, I don't know, man, but I feel like the fact that he was undisputed at 140 is gone to his head so much that it's affecting him at 147. But you're not undisputed at welterweight. These guys, they never campaigned down at 140. So you're in a whole different weight class. So the clout that you had and you rightfully deserve for becoming unified and undisputed at 140, it transfers over into your legacy, but it don't mean shit to these guys at welterweight. And when you have a guy like Team Porter, Shawn Porter, Kenny Porter, they put you on blast and say if they can't get Earl, they want you, and you don't jump on that opportunity, I can't defend that. Like, I can't defend that shit anymore, because I'm at a point where, like, if anybody should be making some type of OG call, it should be Manny Pacquiao. It should not be Terrence Crawford. And what I mean by an OG call is, if I'm Manny Pacquiao, I know I'm a 40-year-old man. I didn't just turn 40 yesterday. So I'm looking at it like this. All right, Earl, if you're going to run it back with Shawn, cool. I'm going to go fight. I'm going to take me a relatively easy fight, and I'm going to keep my name relevant, make me some money. But in the meantime, before I fight anyone else, Before I put my WBA belt on the line, y'all need to come to me with all 3 belts. That being the WBC, IBF, and the WBO. If I'm Manny Pacquiao, I'm calling an OG move. I'm Manny Pacquiao, I'm letting them know, like, I've been in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, Ricky Hatton, Oscar De La Hoya. The list goes on and on and on. I'm 40 years old. I'm willing to stay in this game. I want to be undisputed, but y'all young boys need to go fight, and y'all need to come to me. If I'm Manny Pacquiao, that's the road that I'm taking, because at that point in time, it's either going to go to one or 2 ways. I'm going to lose in the meantime, or I'm going to win, and these guys going to come to me with those 3 belts, and I'm going to either lose in an undisputed bout on pay-per-view and do big-ass numbers and collect a fat-ass check, or I'm going to win, do something I've never done in my career, become undisputed, get my big-ass check, become president, and retire. Hey, man, and that's the move I feel like Manny Pacquiao should make, but it seems like Bud feels that he's on that level, and I've been wanting to talk and say that Terrence Crawford gets unfair criticism when it comes to his resume, and he did beat the man to beat Pacquiao, but at the same time, when Team Porter calls you out and they say that they'll fight you after putting on that type of performance against Errol Spence, you should want all the smoke. And all of these, these slippery tactics and say, oh yeah, I want to fight the best. Like, no, we need names. We need names called out, because Kenny Porter specifically said, you, Terrence Bud Crawford. I don't want to hear, oh, I just want to fight the best, because who the best is subjective. Shit, you may be considering Danny Garcia the best. You may consider Mikey Garcia the best. We really don't know. So with that being said, yeah, and think about it. You calling Errol Spence fool, you may not even consider Errol Spence the best. I don't know. So Terrence Crawford, we need you to be a lot more specific when you start naming names and talking about who you want to fight. But hey, man, I'm proud of these guys, that being Errol Spence and Shawn Porter. They both want to run it back. Much respect from Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm here for it. Just waiting for shit to become official. Get Danny the fuck out of here. I'm not trying to see an Errol Spence Danny Garcia fight. Danny Garcia needs to step in there with a career welterweight that's successful to give these top guys a challenge, and I feel like a good person for that is your Dennis Ugas. This Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.